when my job has changed. I feel really low and don't have any energy. Today, we answer questions from the audience on Unbreakable. Hey, welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday to Unbreakable. Welcome. We decided to answer questions from our audience. We have a lot of different questions coming in. And just as I promised, I wanted to be able to get the opportunity to show you how being unbreakable pairs with everything that you do in life and all of the systems, all of the tools, all of the things you need to do is wrapped up in an acronym of being unbreakable. So today we're going to just sit back, we're going to relax, we're going to have some music on, and we're just going to answer some questions that the audience has put across. And so thank you again for that. Our new format that we're going to be going to, we're actually going to do a Q&A session one day a week. We're actually going to do a training one day a week. We're actually going to have a special guest on during the week. And we are going to move until 5 a.m. in the morning. So that way people have the opportunity to get ready, get prepared. Our goal, though we wanted to reach 100,000 people, our first milestone is 1,000. So help us to get to people, share the information, invite people that you think this could be very helpful for. Um, Invite them, share the information on your platform, share it to your friends and your family. Again, we just want to help people level up during these times and partner, effectively partner, whether that's in business or whether that's in a personal relationship. We have the tools to do it. We do it. My team does it. I follow every principle that I teach to the letter of the law. So I know exactly how it works. I know exactly when it won't work. And that's what I'm here today to do and share it with the world. So let's get into our first question. So, our first question is, how do I bounce back after a big loss? Whether it's a job or a breakup. That's a great question. Thank you for submitting that. Uh, uh, One of the first things you have to remember is that a loss is really an opportunity to learn something. It's a lesson. It's not really a loss. And a loss doesn't define you. What defines you is how you respond. That's what defines you. If it's a relationship or if it's a job, you have an opportunity to do some reflection, kind of break down where things went wrong, what you didn't see coming, what you could have done to position yourself, and then you turn the page. And so there was, um, I worked for a software company years ago, and that particular software company um, closed because the angel investors wanted to buy them out. It was a great opportunity, but I saw two people root in, and it affected all of us because it came to a stalemate. They decided to shut the program down. But when I look at the opportunity, it really came down to about responding and giving open communication, which didn't happen. There were some opportunities to clean up the software to make it run efficient, but um, they didn't want to focus on that. And it was a very important piece of the success. And so to me, it wasn't a loss. It was a great lesson. It was a great opportunity. And what it taught me to do was double check the double check. And so when you put things out, they don't always run smooth. When you are in relationships, whether they're business or whether they are personal, you double check the double check. What was my tone like? Could I have said it better? Did I study hard? And just remember, being unbreakable isn't about avoiding a loss. It's really the opportunity to take a look and rise to insight, to take that insight and say, let me extract from this and then go to the next level. So thank you for that question. That was a good question. It was kind of tough too, but nevertheless, it was a great question. So thank you for that. Let me go and find another question here. I like this one right here too, because I see this a lot. Um, I'm in a high pressure corporate job with the downsizing coming all over across the US. How do I continue to perform without burning out? That's a great question. Um, and burnout is real. You can really get stressed out. But really, when you take a look, when you have those feelings, when you have those particular thoughts, it's really saying, what type of systems do I have in place? It's not about always being strong and pushing through. It's about maintaining and refueling. What am I doing? And do I have I blocked out time to recover? Uh, when you drink coffee all day and you eat carbs, it is hard to physically perform a high pressure or a high task job. So that begins to expose what type of things that you're not putting in your system to be able to perform at a higher level. Um, there should be some type of a rule that you create for yourself. Uh, like for me, when I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna drink one glass of water as soon as I wake up. I drink one glass at lunch. I drink one glass at dinner, and I drink one glass an hour before I go to bed, because if I don't, I can run all day and not drink like I'm supposed to and be dehydrated. When you get dehydrated, you get headaches. Your body doesn't function appropriately to be able to handle those particular tasks. And so it's an opportunity to look at what things you need to do. Do you have a recovery time block? Now, I will tell you this, since I'm a temperament expert, every different temperament needs a different type of a time block situation. Some people need to go for a walk. They love being outside. That energizes them, that refreshes them. Some people need to get up and move quickly and get some physical type of an activity in. Um, I know that was a piece of me. So here, even in my home office, I have a little basketball that I'll shoot around, and I do these when I feel a dip in my energy, so that the motion creates momentum for me. And so just try that, and take a look at what you're doing to recover and begin to build a plan in with that. And as a temperament expert, I'm able to help people do that. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, and let me see if I can help you further. Great question. Thank you very much. We will take a couple more questions here. Ooh, Ooh, this is a relationship question. Okay, so how do I keep my relationships healthy while pursuing big goals? That is a phenomenal question. It is really a powerful question because it's in the top 10 reasons why people get divorced. It is in the top 10 reasons on why people break up. And that is because the vision of the relationship from the very beginning was never communicated. And in order to be able to, when you get into a relationship, even before you get into it, you should be communicating your vision from the very beginning. Hey, this is what I'm trying to do. Here's my 3-year plan. I know this is where I want to be in 5 years. I know I'm most happiest going in this direction. And you don't have to say it forcefully or aggressively, but just in general conversation, it says that you've studied yourself, that you know what direction you want to go, that you have a life plan, and you have an opportunity to understand whether that person understands it, wants to be a part of it, or really totally didn't identify it and talked about their plan and never even made a connection. And when you get into these relationships, people should really become partners. And a marriage is run very much like a business, and you should run it like a business. You should run it like a love business. You should run it like a financial business. You should run it like a partnership where you sell out for each other. And so start with creating a vision. I don't know if you have that vision for yourself. Something maybe both of you can sit down and find out what their vision is and know what your vision is and be able to communicate the vision together. And sometimes you're not going in the same direction. And hence the divorce happens or people break up because they are growing apart. One person is growing at a different rate. But honestly, you would know that if you had a dating roadmap and you follow those 7 checkpoints. And so if you want a dating roadmap, put more information in the chat and I'll be able to help you. But nevertheless, that was a great question. Don't neglect the restructuring of your relationship. Hey, we need to sit down and talk. My wife and I, every Monday, we have More Money Monday meetings. Sometimes she doesn't want to, sometimes I don't want to, but we're committed to setting a timer for 20 minutes and working on these specific set of 5 questions to help us to stay focused and help us to push forward and to help us follow the vision of being having a successful partnership. And we push through, we make things happen, and we're very happy. So that was a great question. Thank you so very much. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. How do I find purpose when I feel stuck? That's a great question. Purpose isn't found in a big moment. It's revealed through small little actions. For example, how do you serve? How do you show up? How do you listen? How do you pay attention? What things energize you? What things burdens you? Usually your calling is hidden in things that breaks your heart or either light a fire under you. And a lot of times we have mental wellness where people aren't all that well because they're not operating in their strengths. They're operating in a system that provides for them, but it's not their passion, it's not their strength. And that can create mental exhaustion because who wants to go and give 40 plus hours in something you just do not love? There was a opportunity, when I was younger, to work in the auto industry, and I'm not knocking anybody's hustle. For me to do the same thing every day, repetitively, I would rather be homeless. I just mentally could not see myself doing it. It was a mental exhaustion. I would rather not have a paycheck at the end of the week. But usually that created my passion for design, entrepreneurship, because I would always be able to see a way to make money. So I bet on myself versus betting on someone else who, when they're done with me, they're going to lay me off, downsize, let me go, and they're going to keep moving on. And guess what? I'm going to be under pressure because I never developed myself. I never created a vision for myself. In fact, a lot of vision statements and a lot of mission statements that I've seen when I work with different individual companies, they would all get C minuses and below. All I have to do is go in when I do my coaching and consultant work. I talk to the employees. All I do is watch what time people leave work. I watch how they park. I watch how they position themselves, and I can tell who's bought into the company's vision. In fact, if you're a leader, a CEO, or a manager, just ask your employees, hey, what's our company's vision? What's our company's mission? They won't know. And if they don't know, that's because they're there to collect a check. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, in order to find your purpose, you have to work on what lights your fire or what breaks your heart. One of those things, and that begins to find your purpose. You need to get a coach. I have 3 coaches. It's the best money I've ever spent because they help me speed up my success rate. I will always keep a coach as long as I'm living. It's a beautiful thing. All right, I got time for one more question and then a closing thought. Let's see. Ooh, this is a good one. Okay, I struggle with comparison. How do I stop? First thing you need to know about comparison is a thief. Whenever you compare, understand you're collaborating right off the bat with a thief. Comparison steals joy, clarity, and your identity. Just because you see someone else doing something doesn't mean that something is for you. That's where that imposter syndrome thing comes in. That's where more failure than necessary comes in. And actually, you need to redirect your focus and focus on progress over performance. Um, a, a lot of people, maybe I should just say your progress over trying to being a perfectionist. So you try to be a perfectionist is something and it just doesn't work. It causes you to delay, it causes you to procrastinate. That's because really what you're going after is not clear, but you see other people doing it. And so sometimes you think you can do it better than them or you can do it just as good as them, but that's not what you're called to do. So you don't have that clarity, you don't have that success that they have. And take a look at what your values are, take a look at what your vision is, and take a look at what your growth plan is. And when you don't have those things, you are really left with collaborating with the thief. You start comparing something. And so we have a vision statement program where I go in and I work with different companies, I work with entrepreneurs, I work with people just in creating a life vision. And so if you want more information, put that information in the bottom and I would love to be able to help you. Look, that's our unbreakable. And I just want to leave people with the word of encouragement. Right now, during this time, this shift in the world, there is a shift in repositioning of wealth, opportunities, With AI coming along, this is an opportunity for people to reposition. Plug into some type of information that can teach you and show you how to realign. Find out what your gifts, talents, and strengths are. Get a coach to help you level up to what's going to happen in these next 5 years. You have time, but don't stay stuck in something that you don't love or something that you don't want to do. Well, everybody, thank you for joining Unbreakable on Thursday. I hope you enjoyed this particular session. And if you have any questions, please feel free to continue to put them in to the chat. Really appreciate those questions. It was some really good questions. We're going to do this every Tuesday. We're going to have some question Tuesday. Monday is going to be our lesson, but you do want to tune in on Fridays, Unbreakable at 10 a.m. I'm going to have a coach who this guy's been winning championships since he played Little League, high school, college, and then he coached championships. I love this guy. He's put people in the pros. He's put people in professional career, and we're just gonna ask him some questions on things that broke people and things that help create success for those people. So make sure you tune in on Friday. Other than that, everybody have a happy Tuesday. Be productive.